Just mic'd up with Mikey and Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up, and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground, I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone saying around, who here thinks Ochiko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochiko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled.
Whoa. What was that?
Time to the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Wednesday, May 21st. We're a little late, fashionably late. Look, when you burn the midnight oil and you wake up early in the morning, you know, sometimes the body clock gets a little thrown off. We hadn't had to go through this in a while, but, you know, sometimes...
And Doak shoots his hand up.
Sometimes... The little cat nap turns into a snooze.
Turns into a siesta.
A little tiger snooze. What do tigers dream of when they take tiger snoozes?
Apparently Tennessee playing baseball and the sweet sounds of Hoover.
Hey, I will give you this.
Put you to bed.
I'll give you this. For as, I'm going to say this lovingly, as irresponsible as oversleeping is.
For a 6 o'clock show.
The fact that you woke up 15 minutes before the 6 o'clock show and you got here and we're going up only 15 minutes late. Thank you for hustling. Appreciate it. And you came in with some personality.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Well
that.
rested.
I appreciate that. Got a lot to talk about. We're going to have a sprint of a show, 7:15 exit time. J Mitch is en route to the hotel. If you've been watching.
He's actually late.
He's doing his other job.
Yep.
You know, if you're watching SEC baseball, which a lot of y'all probably are, I have been. This is kind of the March Madness of college baseball fans. There's baseball on all day, especially on SEC Network. J Mitch's pretty face has been on there all day. All day yesterday, all day today. Did a great job. He is hustling back to the hotel. He will be on the show here very shortly. We're going to talk a lot about SEC baseball, a lot about LSU on Friday. Not a lot to talk about as far as who they're going to play because that's still to be determined. But there's a lot of moving and shaking going on in the SEC tournament right now. A lot of teams that are on the bubble to host their regional. And a lot of teams on the bubble to host super regionals right now. Currently, Georgia, Oklahoma is playing. They're in the top of the second inning. Oklahoma's got runners on first and second, no outs. So we will get into all of those conversations. It's also Wednesday, so it's Ask Mikey and Mitch. Throw your questions in the chat if you want us to answer anything. A lot of good baseball to be talked about. A lot of intriguing storylines to be talking about moving forward. Florida seems like they're playing good baseball. Are they going to force their way into a regional host? It seems like they're trying to. Texas A&M continues to be the most mysterious team in all of college baseball. They got swept at home against Missouri, who is awful, right? And then they come in the first game of the conference tournament and put an ass whooping on Mississippi State, and Mississippi State was one of the hottest teams in the country at the time. So they're kind of an interesting deal. I think they're going to have to make a run to the finals for them to get in the postseason.
You think that'll get them in?
I don't know.
I think they have to win it.
Well, they have – yeah.
The three – I mean,
the
if LSU got dinged for losing one game to South Carolina, or the amount of conjecture that was going on around that, if you lose 3 straight to Missouri who didn't have a win –
Right, at home.
The RPI thing.
At home. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think they do have to win it. It's going to be a long road for them, but crazier things have happened. We shall see. I do want to point out before we get into LSU conversation, this is going to be postseason baseball. Every little thing matters, right? Every out matters, every second chance matters, and every run matters, right? And so I'm watching this game, Georgia-Oklahoma. Kyson Witherspoon's on the mound, SEC Pitcher of the Year. No. Not SEC Pitcher of the Year.
Liam Doyle.
Should have probably been SEC Pitcher of the Year. Liam Doyle got it.
Oh, she's got 2 strong cases.
No doubt.
Put them together.
But I think Kyson Witherspoon had the best numbers of any pitcher. One of the top pitchers in the SEC. He is on the bump. And Georgia opens the game with a leadoff triple. Run on third base, no outs, top of the first inning. Holy shit, Georgia's coming out there swinging. Next guy hits a ball deep to right field, tailing foul. It's about probably 6 feet foul. The right fielder gets to the wall, times it, basically robs a foul ball, right? Tries to go over the fence. Probably, if you watched it, probably should have caught it. Goes off his glove over the fence for a foul ball. But had he caught that, run scores, tags up, scores, sacrifice fly, get the out. Instead, the ball does not record the out. Kyson Witherspoon ends up getting that guy out. Run doesn't score. He ends up getting out of the inning, no runs. I say that because it'll go into our conversation with LSU on how important the little things are moving forward and how important it is when you get into postseason baseball. A run like that in a game like this could be the difference. And, I know he wasn't trying to miss it. He wanted to catch it. And you're taught, hey, listen, early in the game in a situation like that, catch it. But it didn't happen, and it worked out for him. And, you look up at the end of the game, if Georgia loses by a run, you can look back and say, oh, well, that was a moment early in the game that probably wasn't, you probably didn't think much of it, and it ends up being a big deal. So I bring that up just because it just happened, and it goes to show you how important small moments in postseason baseball are.
Especially when only you have one opportunity now in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, especially when you're one and done in a tournament. Georgia, does Georgia have to win this game, you think, to host a Super? If they go one and done, do you think they host a Super? They're number 10th in the country and they're number 1 RPI team.
How much do you think that the committee looks at such a home field advantage like that? And say, kind of weighs the pros and cons of it? Because Georgia, obviously, Alec Box, you can say whatever about, in terms of the fan engagement. But when it's actually a distinct home field advantage, I guess you would say, because of the size of the ballpark?
Yeah.
Is that something that you weigh a factor? You need to kind of prove it somewhere else?
Yes and no. I mean, I think they look at that, but I don't think that's, the deciding factor on if they're going to get a host. I think they're going to look more at record. They're going to look more at conference record. They're going to look more at RPI, strength of schedule. All of that stuff, I think, comes into play first. And if there's similar resumes, maybe you look at it and you say, okay, this team was better on the road. Maybe we would reward them and give them a top 8 seed. I don't know, but I don't think in this situation, I don't think that's going to affect them getting a national seed or not. I believe
18-12 in conference.
I believe they get it.
Yeah.
I believe with the number one RPI team, I believe that they get a home field advantage. D1 baseball's projections going into, I guess, today or yesterday had 6 SEC teams in the top 8. 6. I think it was LSU, Arkansas, Georgia, Auburn, Vanderbilt. Who else? Who else was the top other 8? Maybe it was only 5. LSU, Arkansas. LSU, Arkansas, Georgia, Auburn. I think that's it. Vanderbilt. That was a 6th. Vanderbilt. Strong to very strong. But we'll see. I don't think they get 6. But I think 5 is probably what the number is going to land on, but maybe 6. LSU is in that number. I believe they're in that number regardless of what happens on Friday. We obviously aren't going to know who they're going to play on Friday until tonight, right? The Auburn and then play tonight, I believe. Today's Wednesday, yes. So they would play tonight. They are playing Texas A&M.
Game 4. The winner of Game 4, so Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. So Texas A&M's got to play 2 games today. Is that the case?
I'm looking at.
Or are they playing tomorrow?
Mississippi, they play Thursday, 11 a.m. The winner.
Okay,
of
so
Game 4,
they play tomorrow.
So that was Texas A&M, yes, versus Auburn. The winner of Game 5 is versus Texas. So the winner of Game 5 was Alabama versus Tennessee.
So Tennessee
versus Texas at 3 p.m. on Thursday, and then the Game 6 winner, Oklahoma and Georgia, will play Vanderbilt at TBD.
Right.
Because of this, tournament baseball never lasts long. It's like going back to Dixie.
But look, that's what makes it so much. That's what makes it so much fun, dude. That's what makes it.
Hate baseball.
That's what makes it so much fun. Is like, okay, rain delays, extra inning games, long games. The Tennessee Alabama game was extremely long. So like you just never really know. So that's what makes it fun. It makes it feel like you're back in travel ball, like when you're a kid.
That's when your parents are like, is it worth it? Little Johnny played about an inning and a half. And
I guess as you get older, it probably is worth it. When you're 7, it's like, damn, is it worth it?
$3,000 for what?
We didn't have. I mean, it wasn't like that. Travel ball wasn't like that. When I played on a travel ball coach pitch teams for like a month. It was like a month long when I was 7 or 8, and all the tournaments were in New Orleans, and it was like, hey, three or 4 weekends in a row. That's what we're doing. Boom, that's what it was, and it was over. Now it's like you're playing for 2.5 months, 3 months as a 7-year-old in coach pitch travel ball, and I've been to a couple of those games. It is a lot of chasing the ball around, a lot of the kids that can catch the ball running it in, so that the other runner has to stop. It's a wild baseball. A lot of parents take it seriously too.
The thing is, they sign up for travel ball. J-Mitch is in. But they sign up for travel ball to play teams that they would have played, and they go travel like, oh, the World Series is in somewhere in Florida. It's like, and you played the same 3 teams that you could have played in Baton Rouge. It's like we all traveled and saw each other here.
Yeah. Now listen, until you get to be about like 11 or 12, that's like that. When you go to the World Series, that's when you get teams from around the country, and it's like makes it a little bit better. But it's a wild travel ball's a wild deal. Jay, is he ready? There he is. There he is. How you feeling, dude? It's been a long 2 days for you. Uh-oh. Hold on. Got a little mute action going. We're going to get you.
Is it me or him?
I don't know. But you looked great. I know you can hear us. We can't hear you right now. We're going to be able to get to you soon. You looked great on TV. Nice little toss that you had with the kids out there. Some nice one-liners, some nice jokes. It was great. You got some good insight. We feel like proud family members watching you on the tube. Working on this. Yeah, now we can.
Whoa, the voice.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, my voice is fine. What are you talking about?
Yeah, his voice is
okay,
fine.
okay, it just sounded weird in my head.
Yeah,
For a second.
how are you feeling? Is it hot? You're hot. I saw you got some shade. You're in the shade. That's
Got
nice.
some sun, coach.
That was nice. You got some shade.
Listen. No, some shade. I mean, this is hey. I'm not. Listen, I gotta get more shade than what I got today because I'm getting summer dark.
You're getting cooked. Hey, you know I can tell because I can see it. Your chest is a little lighter than the face. That's how I know you're getting some. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Hey, listen. Is this shirt a little small or no?
It looks good. Hey, you wear it well. You wear it well.
We had a wardrobe malfunction right before the show started this morning, so I had to roll with a smaller shirt.
What
So
happened?
I'm
You
not sure.
dropped some food on your shirt.
Oh no, wrong shirt.
Oh, it's y'all have assigned uniforms.
No, we just kind of go with whatever you want, but let's just say the right sponsors have to be on the
Yeah. The check. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. We're talking obviously SEC baseball. We're going to talk LSU baseball. I guess let's jump into what you've seen. You've been there, boots on the ground. You've seen it in person. Obviously, the SEC tournament is it's a showcase of some of the top talent in all of baseball, right? It started a day earlier. Obviously, South Carolina, Missouri, both out, which I think was predicted before the tournament started. Texas A&M goes out there, puts in a really good showing today. Scores 9 runs, completely dominated that game. And then Tennessee goes and does the same thing against Alabama. Kind of squirrely for a little bit there, then kind of run away with it. What have you seen so far with the teams that you've watched in person and teams that you've watched, I guess, on TV from the hotel room?
This thing's starting to heat up a little bit, right? Day 2 is kind of where you start seeing some of the horses come out in terms of the aces, not even ace, just like the better arms out off the staff, right? Marcus Phillips threw today, Ryan Prager threw this morning for A&M. So you're starting to get into the tournament a little bit. I think tomorrow is where it kind of really kicks up. I think a team like Auburn, who was not a top 4 seed, but because of the rain delay and the pushback, they get to approach it like a top 4 seed, right? They were supposed to play today. That game got pushed to tomorrow, so they get an extra day. So, the tournament, the teams are kind of get into the tournament and that part of it a little bit. And I think tomorrow you'll start seeing, the afternoon games are starting to fill up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think the stadiums will really start filling up tomorrow as all the teams are kind of getting here and ready to get and playing and stuff like that. There's a lot of LSU fans out already.
I was about to say that. Seems like there's a lot of tailgating going on early. I think, look, we were worried about, single elimination, how are fans going to travel because you may only get to see one game. LSU fans said, no, we're going to fix that. We're just going to get there early, and we're going to tailgate up until Friday.
Let me tell you what. Remember, guys, I think it's the 838 bar that we did our podcast from?
Oh, yeah, look, we got it right here.
Full force, day 1.
Right here. 838.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'll keep that right
full
next
force day 1. They are already here. They full bar and everything. They are kicking. They are rolling already.
Did you go tell the boys hello?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Pop by.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm
was
sure
was that the one that was on Tiger Droppings? The first tailgate up. They're like LSU's already here and they don't play till Friday.
But that was the show. That was the show where you didn't show your best. Let's just put it that way.
Hey, you know what? We're 2
years.
2 years removed from that, and he did it again. SEC tournament, Lloyd comes out differently. He doesn't rise up to the occasion on SEC.
I thought I got to buy.
Look, here's the
You got the best of Lloyd.
This is what we're talking about. Texas, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, top 3 seeds. North Carolina 4, Georgia 5, Auburn 6, LSU 7. That's the top 8 as of now, according to D1 Baseball. Obviously, that's going to change. You mentioned Auburn,
Yeah.
Jared. Obviously, LSU doesn't know who they're going to play until tomorrow night. Texas A&M is playing Auburn tomorrow. You're going to have Lampkin on the mound, who's coming off the best performance of his career last week. Complete game. I think he struck out 14 or maybe 15 guys. Shutout. He's, I would imagine, on the mound. I know they threw Prager on short rest. I would imagine they're going to throw him on short rest. If he throws tomorrow, who do you believe between those two teams? Who do you believe is going to win that game and LSU's going to have to face tomorrow night? Friday night.
That's an interesting game tomorrow, right? I think there's 2 buckets of people that look at Auburn and say they probably may need to win a game or 2 to make sure they for sure host, right? I'm sorry, not host, national seed,
Yeah.
right? So it's an important game because they need and want to win that ball game as well. On the other hand, you have A&M. They're literally fighting for their playoff lives, right? And I think they have to probably play into Friday to even have a conversation to be in postseason play. So, yeah, I think there's a good chance that you'll probably see Lampkin, right, with Prager throwing today. I think the delay and them not playing last night and everything getting pushed back a day kind of put them on that schedule to be able to do that because Prager was not tapped to start last night. 10 hours later, he is the start. So, I think that has a lot to do with it. But, yeah, it's an interesting game because I think so far out of these games that might be the one where both sides are good teams, obviously, and there's a lot riding for them. Like, obviously, Auburn's going to be in their tournament team. They're going to be a regional host site, but they're playing to be a national seed, which gives them the opportunity to be home throughout the playoffs. So, like, I think it's a big game.
Let me ask you this. Florida, Ole Miss tonight.
Yeah.
How far does Florida have to go to host a regional?
It's a good question.
You think if they win? You think if they win tonight, they host?
I would have to go back again and look at the RPI and all of this stuff. I know they came in with 15 conference wins, right? So obviously there was some work still left to be done. I think they're another team that the better showing that they can get here, the more that they can stack on the W's here, it just gives them more of a case to be able to be one of those home teams. Look, Florida, by all intents and purposes, you got to remember, Liam Peterson's real. He's a legit ace for them. You also have Pierce Capola has come back. You also have the emergence of Aiden King. They've got three guys, right? And now they've been able to push some other guys back into the back end of that bullpen. So the question for them is how are they going to keep doing it they just haven't been healthy. Their best catcher, their number one catcher, their rock on their lineup, who's been there for a while, he's out now. So now you've had to move the DH, who is Brody Donay, who's had a hell of a year swinging it. Now he's got to go catch and have double duty. So, how are they going to keep doing it lineup-wise? They didn't have a problem at all in game one. They those guys, the Bozers, the Donays, they showed up, they hit homers here. So, they've kept it going. It's but how long does that keep going? You're no longer that deep. Your pitching staff is fine, and if they come on, but it's how long can you keep doing that? But they are making a case to put themselves in a chance to be able to host.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, they, it's when you have to make a run like that, it's pretty exhausting, right, emotionally, because every game matters. It feels like how long can you sustain that? Now, listen, you get a second wind when you get into postseason ball. So if they are able to continue that in the SEC tournament, be able to get a regional host, that obviously will give them that built-in second win. So
Florida 38-19 overall, 13 RPI, 5 strength of schedule.
Yeah. And Ole Miss is
you're looking at a team that was at one point. You're looking at a team that was at 1 point 1-11 in conference, and we're about to. They're on the verge of having 40 wins before we actually make selection day. So that's kind of crazy to think about. That's where they're at. That's what kind of turnaround they've had. I think they are 15-4 or 16-4 in their last 19 or 20 SEC ball games. Obviously, regular season and tournament so far. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a crazy turnaround. Good for them. Obviously, Sully's a good coach. They have really good talent. They put it together when they needed to. They didn't wait too long. Felt like they did, but they didn't. And they put themselves in a good spot. All right. It's going to be a sprint of a show. We have Ask Mikey and Mitch. Throw your questions in the chat. Ask us questions throughout the course of the show. Real quick about the LSU game on Friday, because we're going to talk a little bit on Friday before the game. I believe you're probably going to be on TV, so we will have to have a pinch hitter for you probably on Friday, I would imagine. But since you're here now, we can talk about what to expect in that Auburn game. I think we've talked a lot about LSU through the course of the year. Obviously, we've talked a lot about them on Monday when Jay was on the show, and we know what they need to do. But in your perspective, watching them, what do you want to see them get out of the tournament? I know what I want to see, but I want to hear what you want to see from them moving on to the regional and giving you confidence that these guys they're clicking.
One of these things I want to see, it's been a familiar theme pretty much all year, but the first thing is I want to see them get to play in 2 games, right? I think it's important for them to be able to keep Cade and to be able to keep Anthony on schedule and being able to throw and getting some work out of this weekend and not basically having to find like I don't see a real way that they would throw both of them in game one. So I think both of them need to work, and I think you need to be able to get to game two or the second game of the tournament, if you will, to be able to do that. I think that's important for them to do that. Secondly, is the theme I've been talking about all year. Like, I got to continue to see Ethan Fry come. I got to continue to see Luis Hernandez come. I think the presence of those two guys somewhere in that 3 to 6 to maybe even 7 range in the lineup, I think is key.
Yeah.
Like, I just do. Like, when I think about a team that's going to win a championship, when I think about a team that holds the trophy at the end of the year, the middle of the lineup looks like those guys.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yeah.
And I think the more that they can do what they need to do and stay in those spots and provide that protection for the top of the lineup, the more dangerous this LSU lineup gets. So I think those two things are important for you to get both of those guys the work that they need in terms of the pitchers, and then to be able to see Ethan Fry and Luis Hernandez come in. And hey, they can. For all I care, honestly, look, I don't know how much you can actually win a game if they were to do this in game one, but they could come here in my book and have spring training outs where it's just barrels, and maybe they find outs, but I need them to start doing that.
Right.
Or not say start, continue doing.
Yeah, and look, I'm on. I agree with both of those things. I think there's two other things for me that I've been talking about and that I've that I think will look. I think as is, they continue to keep playing the way they've been playing. I think they are a contender. Like, I think they are going to be able to make a run and get to Omaha. But if Milam kind of starts doing what he did at the back half of last year in the tournament, kind of finds himself and starts swinging a hot bat, I think that solidifies the entire lineup. I like the middle lineup. Obviously, is super important. Having those guys be able to show some thump. But if you get Milam right and you get him going, now you have 1 through 9, right? And the only really guy that really hasn't gotten super hot or doesn't really have crazy numbers is Braswell. But Braswell has found a home at that 8 spot because he can control the bat, he can move guys over, and he can do things that are beneficial for the team to score runs, because you have Stanfield, who has 14 doubles in conference play, and he leads the LSU in average in conference play. So if you get Milam, in my opinion, going, I think that really solidifies the 1 through 9, and that makes it very stressful on opposing pitchers to get through the entire lineup consistently. Second thing, I think if Chase Shores continues to do what he's doing, I think you may start seeing him in that third starter role again. Is not going to announce it. Obviously, it's going to be a game-by-game basis, but we've seen him become that pitcher that we all expected him to be this year over the last 4 outings, and I think he and Milam are going to be really key. I think LSU can get there without them, raising their level if they continue status quo. But if they take their game to the next level, which they've shown that they can do in the past, I think that puts them at a different tier and makes them a favorite to win it.
Yeah, look, I'm like you on that too. Like, I guess I can throw that in there as well. I'm not the coach. I don't see these guys every day. I didn't have them all fall. I didn't send them to summer ball anywhere, so I don't know what they were doing there. I just think from what I've seen, the smaller sample that I've seen, I love Chase Shores in that third starter role, and I love Kingston Evans at the back end of the bullpen, and I love Zach Cowan being able to come in and bridge however long he needs to bridge and do his thing. Yeah. I just think it worked with this pitching staff best that way.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree completely. Lloyd, what do you think?
I'm just ready for it to get to
home games here.
The regional.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, because it feels
tailgates.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
Tailgates.
But it feels like Jay was asked about this a little bit, and he was like, kind of asked like the pros and cons of where you sit, and he's like, I feel like by all means we are a top 8 seed, and it's like, so the next like kind of follow up question was then how do you approach the tournament? He goes, it's tournament baseball.
Yeah, we're gonna win.
We don't go. This isn't a feeder game. This isn't a situation which you go into to try to get better in terms of like throwing guys out there that haven't played. It's like, no, that would be an insult to the tournament. So if you're playing baseball, we're there to compete. So when LSU standpoint, like I don't think they need to do anything, but I also know that you've seen, and he talked about, even brought it back to like the Paul Skeens scenario where he had, the bases loaded and he had thrown like 30 pitches in an inning and they pulled them, and he's like, well, that's a scenario in which I'm getting ready for regional and super regional play. Like, it's all kind of put different eggs in different baskets, but I'm not trying to just to go get them work.
Right, and at the same time, in that same breath, the format then was different than the format now, right? So I think the format now with the double bye allows them to have that mindset of, hey, we're going to treat this like a weekend series, and we're going to try to win every game because it's only 3 games, and then you can kind of stay on track for the regional and keep everybody in their same rhythm.
That's what I'm interested in. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that was quick.
No, I'm about to say that's a big point. Like, I think that's great that he said that. I read that as I understand I just got the double bye and I can approach it as a weekend series.
Right.
So I'm going to do exactly that. And that's smart. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's what he should be doing.
Wow, this guy from Auburn, he's the low button guy. Like, he's got like 4 buttons unbuttoned. It almost goes to like the middle of his chest.
Oh, is he having a button off with Georgia's catcher?
This may be the catcher, Hunter.
Yes,
that's him.
Ugh.
This is the catcher.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's borderline. It should be. You're not really wearing the uniform at that point.
Mississippi State had a guy a little maybe when they won the national championship that had it super down. Had the meat sauce there and everything. You know, the hairy chest.
I mean, if you have the chest hair, that's different. If I would rather you be a little like out of shape and do it as opposed to like a Barbie doll, kin chest, and it's like, okay, this is a little dramatic.
Oh, he's got a skull cap.
Whatever.
All right, we got any questions?
Oh yeah, let me pull up the.
You put Jay on the camera. And he's
I did. I didn't know if he was going to pop a button or two.
Good God.
Ask Mikey and Mitch. We will do it right now.
Yeah, because sprint of a show.
Sprinting.
Jay, you have any dinner plans tonight? By the way,
ask Mikey and Mitch. Jared, do you have any dinner plans? First one up.
Was that really it?
No.
Did you go straight here? Come to the show, and then you're going to dinner after? Or are you done for the night?
Yeah, I actually am. Yeah, no, I am. I'm going to dinner. Guess who I'm going to dinner with? That damn Longhorn.
Oh, you're going Nolan. Tell Big Cat.
Get some dinner
tell Big Cat I said hello. Big Tuna.
Nolan and Kyle.
Kyle's there
squad,
too. I forgot. Where y'all going?
That is, we'll have to see. I got some spots.
Don't say it because the people may show up. Don't. Yeah.
Autographs and such.
Yeah. All right. Ask Mikey and Mitch. First question.
At Mikey and Mitch, Willow's other. In the years you and Jared went to Hoover, I'm not included in this one. What did you and or the team like to do when the team wasn't playing? How do you burn some time?
Well, every time we came to this city for this tournament, which is a great tournament, it was hot as shit out here, bro. So it was play, and it was like, hey, bro, I ain't going back out there right now. We did. I think at that time we did maybe like walk around the mall a little bit. I don't know, like a pool in the hotel.
Well, the hotel,
but it was like, the hotel's connected to a mall there.
I know it's just the most baseball thing ever. Like you would go to the mall.
It was literally connected to, not across the street, like connected to it. So we did do that.
Sushi. They had the Japanese restaurant that was across from not far from the hotel. So when we go, we had practice. We had the next day. We would go. That's where we'd go to dinner. Before, and then look, there was a place in the mall. It was I won't call it like an arcade because it wasn't an arcade. But they had like
Spencer's.
The what's the one where you can like the air hockey. They had that, so we would do that. I think they had a ping pong table in one of the spots. But you would see every team walk around the mall, do stuff like that. Obviously, I would imagine Hoover's developed. Even it was developed then, but I'd imagine it's developed a little bit more now. Obviously, a lot of team bonding in rooms, like we're going, hanging out, playing cards, doing whatever,
watching cops.
Yeah, so I mean that's what we would do. There wasn't anything special. Omaha was a little different. And more off days in Omaha. We had more fun in Omaha.
They earned it,
especially when we won it. Go ahead. Next.
Jared was going to say anything.
Next.
From Jesse Taylor.
I couldn't hear you. I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear anything.
Me either. Jesse Taylor. How many position players / who is the worst big leaguer that could win the Golden Spikes if they were added to a college roster next season?
Wait.
What?
I'm just reading it. How many position players / who is the worst big leaguer that could win the Golden Spikes that are added to a college roster? So I guess somebody who's the worst player in professional baseball that could go to college and still win the Golden Spikes. Like, I guess the difference between.
I mean, I think anybody
any of them
anybody in the big leagues, if you put them in a college
Would have
roster
a run-
with
would
a
have a
metal
run.
bat, after they have the you
Got a
can't
chance to have a really good year.
yeah you can't erase the experience they had in the big leagues. Like I think if anybody you put in college lineup right now, I think they're gonna be in contention for that.
Yeah.
Unless
Kinda hard to
you're
disagree.
unless you're like a guy. Well, no, I was like, unless you're just a high contact guy and you don't hit homers. But like, even like Luis Arias would probably hit 500 in college. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
You have to realize
how good they are.
you have to realize that I was going to say you have to realize how good these guys are. Listen, if you watch a game, I was actually at dinner the other night with a friend of mine, Jesse Daigle. Jesse Daigle used to play quarterback at LSU in the '90s, and he's like, yeah, me and my son were watching the Rangers play whoever, and it's amazing. Any ball hit on the ground in the infield's an out. And I'm like, yeah, that's why they teach. That's why they say, oh, you want to hit the ball in the air because 95% of the time the ball's hit in the infield and the guy can get a glove on it, you're out. Right? And so, I think people don't realize how
Right now, how many of those guys are in the big leagues and like Major League All-Star right now?
yeah, from that team won.
Yeah. That kind of gives you an idea of where this thing is once you kind of keep going up the ladder.
No doubt.
I mean, and that's why I continue to say, like, when you see LSU's defense play, like, they're feeling at a major league clip because you have that same feeling when you watch them play, any ball on the ground, and it's hard to turn a 5-4-3 double play in college.
Right.
And they're able to do all of those things. You take it, like,
Hey, look,
I guess-
those guys make mistakes in the big leagues, but like it's not very
it's
frequent.
so infrequent.
Not very frequent. And that's to the point of what I said earlier. Jared, you're driving, so you didn't get to see this play, but the first inning of this Georgia Oklahoma game, and we're gonna get back to Ask Mikey and Mitch, but I think this is a good talking point. When you get into postseason play, I was explaining this on the start of the show. Every out matters, every run matters, every little thing matters in the game, whether it's the first inning or the ninth inning. Like, you got to do the little things to win these games. And I'm watching this Georgia-Oklahoma game, and Kyson Witherspoon's on the mound. Leadoff guy from Georgia hits a triple off the wall to start the game. Gets to third base, no outs, guy on third base. Right, top of the lineup up. Next guy hits a deep fly ball to right field. It's a foul ball. It ends up fading foul. It's one of those ones that are high. It's high and deep. The right fielder, he gets to the wall, and he made a jump at the wall to try to, like, basically rob the foul ball for an out. He catches it. The guy on third base obviously tags up, scores. The run scores. Right? Well, he should have caught it, hits his glove, bounces over the fence for a foul ball. The guy doesn't tag up because it's not an out. Kyson Witherspoon ends up getting out of the inning, no runs. I'm not saying it's going to be the difference in the game, and the right play was to try to catch it, but it just didn't happen that way, and it worked out for Oklahoma. And I guess my point in saying that is if you look at the end of the game and, Oklahoma ends up winning by 1 run, you look back and you say, damn, like that could have mattered. And my point is, like, with LSU's defense as good as it's been playing, that's going to come into play throughout the course of the postseason, making those 5-4-3 double plays, making those diving plays in the outfield and turning them into double plays, keeping a guy from getting the second base on a double. Curiel's done that a couple times by sliding and cutting the ball off. Like, all of those things matter.
Yeah, the way I look at it before we continue to go on to, like, I just see it as, you know how, like, those players talk about when school's over and they just get to play baseball?
Yeah.
When you get to be a professional, you get to build your life around playing baseball. That means when you're in season, when you're in off season, everything is literally geared around just doing that. I would imagine it doesn't matter what profession it is that you do in life. If you get to do that, you don't have to divide attention, you get better at something. It's really that simple.
No doubt. All right, next question.
I was reading the chat to see if there were any questions in the chat worth popping on. We will get there, maybe. As former players, how did y'all view the SEC tournament when you played?
Viewed it as the LSU Invitational.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I viewed it. We went there to win it. 2008, LSU won it. 2009, LSU won it. 2010, LSU won it. Jared was part of 2 of those. I was part of 2 of those. Like we didn't. Now my junior year we didn't go. We would have been in the format. We would have 19 in the SEC, but like
Missouri's there.
Yeah, but we viewed it as you go there, you're gonna win it.
Yeah, I think it's the box upstate in the South, if you will. It ain't the box north to me. I feel like that is Omaha. We built a home there as well. But now when we came here, it was like, hey, because like I was at LSU for 3 years, right? The first year was our first year. We struggled there. We didn't even make the postseason. The next 2 years, by the time we got to this point of the year, it was like, hey, bro, if I'm putting these cleats on today, I'm coming home with a dub. There's nothing else that's happening right now.
No doubt.
So when we showed up here, it wasn't to have fun. It was like, hey, bro, I'm here to win this thing. And that's what we did in 8 and in 9.
Do you think that
And 10. But you weren't there for 10.
Do you think that that's like a?
Yeah.
Do you think South Carolina has like? Is this a Paul thing, Maneri? Like, do you think South Carolina has any inkling? Like, I know they need to win it to be able to play baseball, but is it really different for him? Because there were some y'all didn't have to perform that way, and it was like
no, but look, there were. I mean, like, look, 08, they were on that 23-game win streak, right? Like that mattered. And 2009, we were just good. Like we wanted to win every game. We lost the first game actually against Vanderbilt, and then from that game, we didn't lose another game till Game 2 against Texas in Omaha, right? So
you kind of start something too.
Yeah, we used it as like, hey, we're gonna keep. If we're gonna be out there, we're gonna win it. And then 2010, we actually had to have a good run to be able to help our seeding, which we thought it did, and then it ended up being a 2 seed at UCLA's regional, which did not help us. But
and in 2008, we were in the middle of that 23-game winning streak when we were here. So like that was all part of it as well. Like we showed up here and it was like, nah, bro, I came for we played for keeps. Like what you mean?
No doubt.
From JP_Alexandre1, is busing to Hoover normal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We bust. I mean, when we were there, we bust every. It was always Mississippi and Alabama trips. All 4 of those schools we would take a bus to.
Yeah. Pretty normal.
All right. Last one.
Last one.
Better feeling. Hitting a grand slam feels great, or robbing a grand slam.
Hitting a grand slam. Now,
Well, give me that bet.
I'll say this: if it's bottom of the 9th, you're up by 3 runs, and there's 2 outs, and the guy hits a grand slam and you bring it back, that's the better feeling. But 99.9% of the time, hitting the grand slam is better.
Yeah. What he said.
That's it.
One more from the chat.
Okay.
Triple D 225.
Hey.
Ask Eminem. Triple D. How would you feel if you were a Mizzou fan finding out they're keeping their coach? It's first year, right?
It was the second year. I mean, if I was a Mizzou, go ahead.
I mentioned this a couple times. It's very easy to look at it from the outside looking in, but if you're living that life, you sit there and see 2 years ago in 24, a number 6 rank at the time, Florida comes into Mizzou and got swept by Mizzou. This past year, a very bad Mizzou, a winless Mizzou, goes to a former number 1 overall ranked team to start the year who's in the hottest stretch of their season on their way trying to do what Florida was doing. And they go there and sweep them. And that's a very tough place to go and play. So it's not like it's terrible. I think that's a school, I guess, they have to dump more resources into the baseball team. If I'm just being completely honest, right? Like, I think that needs to happen. But then if you do that, it's how these glimpses that we've shown that we beat these teams that are, been good teams. How do we turn that into actual sustained success, consistency, and doing it like that? I think that's kind of how you look at it. So I'm not sure it's fair to completely indict the coach in this situation. I think there's a lot more things they need to do to set him up and give him that opportunity to go and do those things on a consistent basis.
Correct. I mean, I was going to say that too. I think if the bigger issue isn't the coach, it's if you're a Missouri baseball fan, you've got to hope that there's more resources thrown into the baseball program.
Oh, the fraternity's not doing enough?
No, I don't think the fraternity field's not going to work. And that's the biggest issue is that. I mean, it's not. Listen, he obviously hasn't won a ton of games there. He's had some moments. You don't want anybody to get fired, especially when they haven't been there for all that long. Missouri's not known for to be a baseball powerhouse. So, give this guy an opportunity, give him some resources, and see what he can do with that. And Palmineri, he's not leaving. They announced that he is going to be there for another year, so it gives him another year to kind of keep his
and no staff
continue to build his
either. No staff changes either.
No staff changes either. Allows him to continue to try to build his culture. I mean, he did the similar stuff here in 2007 to try to put his culture here, and so it gives him an opportunity to kind of continue to do that and have some job security.
Yes.
Real quick.
Okay.
Collins,
Okay.
Giving him rewatched the 2009 championship game against Texas. How surprised were you, Mikey, when you caught that almost caught that almost ice cream cone missile that you misjudged?
Well, it was misjudged because this ball
Scorched.
jumped off the trampoline bat, and that guy that hit it did not have a great year. And then he had like 4 home runs in Omaha. So everything he hit was like laser. And this ball, I definitely misjudged it. Thank God. It wasn't necessarily like, oh, wow, thank God I caught it. It was like, wow, I misjudged that. Thank God I didn't embarrass myself type thing.
Over my head.
Yeah, so I was very relieved that the ball ended up in my glove.
So nervous, dude. I'm going to match it.
I mean, I went this way and then that way. I'm like, not a good route.
We rewatched it on the because that was when Cajunomics was like playing like some of the highlights. I was like, oh my God, Mikey, look at this route. And you're like, this is not great.
Yeah, I mean, that ball was crushed. I mean, they didn't have like the exit velos, but that ball was lefty. It was one of those low liners that just kept rising. It was, thank God I caught it.
Hey, good play.
Thank God I caught it.
It's an out in the book.
It's an out. It's an out.
All right, that is it.
That is it. Thanks for Ask Mikey and Mitch, brought to you by our friends at Bilcock Brothers Cigars. LSUcigars.com if you want to get any of these beautiful, great tasting cigars for postseason play. Celebrate victories throughout the summer. So celebrate whatever you want throughout the summer and the fall. It'll last long. Get a little humidor and put it in there and keep it nice and fresh. LSUcigars.com. If you want it, any lighters, any cigars, anything they have on that website, use promo code MikeDup15 to get 15% off your order. They would appreciate it. We would appreciate it. And y'all are going to appreciate it when you get it because they taste so good. All right. Should we get to the segments?
CPD now.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry.
Whoa.
I was getting to the mistake of the day.
Okay. I sent you one on Twitter.
Did you?
Yeah. You say yours. I have one too, actually.
Okay, hey,
I have
double
one
up
too.
on this thing.
I have one too. So go ahead.
Breaking. DoorDash food delivery.
Oh, that's it.
Same
That's
one?
what I sent
Nice.
you. Perfect.
Let's
I was
go.
hoping that you saw it. Yeah.
So DoorDash it made me like when I was looking
Could be a
at
curtain call. This guy's just trying to get the quickest route to where you're at. Just trying to get a better tip.
Hey, that's not my fault. It's Waze. Like, oh, it says it's cut through here. So a DoorDash food delivery driver gets lost and ends up on the Chicago O'Hare International Airport tarmac. The driver was able to make it through secured areas and even crossed runways, according to CBS News. The individual reportedly drove for miles on the interior of the airport before being caught. Police say the individual was a 36-year-old man who accidentally drove into an unauthorized security event within O'Hare Airport. No, not charged.
I mean,
On an O'Hare tarmac over the weekend.
I
Imagine
wonder
this.
what he was delivering.
CBD now says the vehicle belonged to a
Could
very
you imagine
confused
tracking
food
this?
delivery driver.
You're like, brother,
who
no.
accidentally entered an area
At
posted
what
as off
point did he
limits to
realize, like,
non-airport
fuck, I'm in the
personnel?
wrong
Where
spot?
was he trying
Looking
to
up.
get?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. So the driver was not cited. The incident happened
I'm so
on
shocked he
Saturday.
didn't get in
My
trouble.
God, how do you
but-
turn around?
Right?
Once you're in, you're in.
I mean, look, maybe the GPS. Maybe he was using Google
It's a
Maps.
Michael Scott
and maybe he was
situation.
like, oh, this is here. Oh, this is a cut through. I'm going to be able to save some time, get it to him early. Maybe I get a better tip. Instead, you are
You're
you're on the
brother.
runway. That's amazing.
That
That was what I sent you. I'm glad you got it.
perfect.
I'm just shocked how you got that far. Like, how do you get that far?
That's the real question.
That
It's
is
like,
the real question. And look, they say secure area. So much for that. Secure, you just let this little red car who's got no credentials just stroll up on there. Not great. Airports, Airports have not been great this year.
Well, they've had worse years.
But like outside of something like that, a lot of bad press happening in the airports. Newark Airport just needs to just close down. Apparently, not a lot of good things happening, but that's pretty wild.
God, that would be such a spot to be in. Like,
You got any curtain calls?
I would imagine that, like, if you're driving DoorDash, you probably smoke a little weed. And you're
Listen
like,
to me.
And you're like, brother, what,
When you
trouble.
order DoorDash, you know when they smoke weed or not because your bag smells like weed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Smells good.
I've almost gotten in trouble at my house because of it.
No, DoorDash, you put on DoorDash.
And I was like, smell this, please. It's not me. It is the bag.
It's from Chiba Hut, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
The blunt?
Yeah.
Not
You
me.
know what the smells like.
Yeah.
Well, I think now that it's legalized, I think it's a lot more frequent. The smell is a lot more frequent around these parts.
To resist drugs and violence.
It's just out in the air. I know what it's like now. I got you.
Well,
My mama said it smells like a skunk.
we got those out there too. We've had a lot of skunks in our neighborhood recently.
I bet.
It's crazy.
Oh. Stank ass neighborhood. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Not great.
I do have one curtain call.
Okay.
12 lucky DraftKings bettors netted $83,000 in bonus bets thanks to a random St. Louis Cardinals player hitting a home run. Pedro Pages has hit the buds. Reply with hashtag STL cards and hashtag hit the buds for your chance to win whenever a Cardinals player hits a home run into the opposing bullpen. St. Louis Cardinals catcher Pedro Pages hit his third home run of the year. His first home run made to put the Cardinals up 9-0 against your Detroit Tigers.
Hey.
And DraftKings was running a promotion every once in a while called King of the Diamond, where if you opt in to pick anywhere from 1 to 5 players to hit a home run, if that player hits a home run, and their team is the highest scoring team in the majors that night, you win your share of $1 million in bonus bets.
Holy shit. This is a side thing. Jim Irsay died.
Yeah, whoa. I saw he was trending on Twitter.
Whoa.
I just figured he said something.
Holy crap.
That's kind of sad.
65.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Damn.
Wow. That's wild.
Of what? What happened?
I don't know. I mean, it says
he's got a long history. Like, he lived a full
Indianapolis
life.
Colts said, "We are devastated to announce our beloved owner and CEO Jim Irsay passed away peacefully in his sleep this afternoon." They don't say anything about other than that. Wow.
Damn.
I guess that's a curtain call. Curtain call to Jim Irsay.
Curtain call to Jim Irsay.
Jim Irsay in his life. I mean, that's obviously terrible that he passed away. You know, I'd imagine it was unexpectedly.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, he's been obviously very vocal, very interesting, unique guy. Been through a lot. Seems like he's very player. Yeah, seems like he's very player oriented. Very much a player's owner, and did a lot of things in the NFL. And
was quick
terrible.
Like one of the guys that kind of has been like part of the impetus of changes and like would call
Yeah.
people out and was like kind of took it upon himself to make sure if there was something wrong or felt like the league was doing something that should be changed, he would be the first
was
one
not
to say
afraid.
something. No, not at all.
He was not afraid to say what he thought, and even if it was controversial, even if it was kind of against the grain, man, that's tough. That's not good. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah. All right.
All right, there you go.
That's my curtain call. Just a shout out to his life and all the great things that he accomplished, and yeah.
I'll go on a better note. I'll go on a brighter note. Look, I got a chance to play some minor league ball here in Birmingham. Birmingham at this time of year is very steamy. It gets hot. So I'm going to shout out to this weather because, the game last night got pushed because there was weather incoming. There was pretty much no rain at all. That game just got pushed. And then now, forecast is supposed to be unbelievable through the rest of the week. It is currently 75.
Wow.
Very, very nice and cool out here. So I'm going to give a shout out to the weather and the rest of the Tiger fans who was thinking about, should I do it or should I not bring your ass out here? It's a good time. It's a good tournament. And there's great weather for the rest of the week. So there should be some great ball being played.
Hey, you know what? And on that note, curtain call to the grounds crew, right? Because a lot of games, a lot of wear and tear on this field, and they keep this thing in pretty tip-top shape. I mean, it is, it's hot. The dirt's going to dry out. You have a bunch of guys on there at high-level games. A lot of the good games are towards the back end of the day. So, you got to make sure the field's in tip-top shape so you don't get any of these crazy bounces. Shout out to those guys who are working overtime, obviously, this week. But that's unsung heroes of baseball fields.
There's a game tonight that will pretty much undoubtedly start after 9 o'clock. Them boys still going to be working before that, and they have to obviously finish the game, finish the day, and get where it needs to be. So, yeah, there's long days for them this week. So, shout out to them because they, like you said, unsung heroes. Nobody talks about them, but this is the time for them. It's a show for them right now.
No doubt. All right, that's all we got for you on this beautiful Wednesday. Appreciate you tuning in. We told you, sprint of a show. We got dinner plans in Alabama. We got dinner plans here in Baton Rouge. Lloyd's got to go back, take a nap again.
No, I'm up now.
Yeah, now you're up. See, that's you have the cycles. You mess the cycle up.
That's okay.
Now you're gonna be up all night. You gotta wake up early. Luckily, we don't have a show for you tomorrow.
I would do it if we did.
I
said I would do it if we did.
I know you would, but we don't. So
nobody, Sanji.
You can kind of get back in the. You can go play some golf tomorrow.
Maybe so. Me, you,
Jared, how's
Jack,
it? I'm not.
Frank?
I can't play tomorrow. Actually, I am sort of.
Oh.
I have to go to an event.
Oh.
An insurance event at Top Golf. From 4 to 6.
That'll be fun.
So, try to hit over the net.
Are you bringing your own clubs?
No, listen to me. So one of the girls in our office that I work with, she's like kind of on the board of this the thing that we're going to, and she's like, "Hey, you're gonna go to this with me, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, she's like, "It's like a tournament. It's like a competition." I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "People bring their own clubs." And I said, "If they do, I'm judging. I'm not bringing my clubs. I judge people who go to Top Golf and bring their own clubs." Are you one of those guys?
There's been a time I brought like a 7-iron and a 9-iron because I just don't. What's the point? Golf.
I'm not.
We had this conversation.
Listen to me. I'm not. It's not real golf, and I'm gonna leave. You know me. I'm gonna leave it there.
The club?
No. Huh?
Like your clubs? Like don't bring your driver. You'll break it. Like
I'm gonna leave my clubs there.
Yeah, for sure. But if you're left-handed, does that make a difference?
They have left-handed clubs.
I know, but I would just imagine like maybe you could get away with it that way. But yeah, I'll bring a couple because I guess it is akin to like a little.
Hey Jay, how's your golf game? How's your golf game?
Tell me if y'all are impressed or not. I actually landed, I guess, decently on the scorecard the other day. Finally.
Oh, you played a full 18?
What's today? Today's what, Wednesday? I played 18 on Sunday. I shot even 100, so it's not.
Oh no, that's good. You played it right. I would imagine, like, I'm gonna try to like actually put a score on there and not say, oh, I would have made a 6, but whatever that.
Yeah, we went like the first like 5 holes in a row, and I like bogeyed them all, and I'm like, wait a second,
let me start writing these down.
I'm like, I'm on a scorecard, and let's go ahead and keep this for real.
Hey, that's not. Listen, 100. That's not bad for especially just getting into it.
It's gonna suck when he gets good.
So that's
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Can't wait till you get real good and start come playing over here, be in some tournaments with me. Have a good time. You already know that you're in tournaments with me as well. You can't come to all of them. I got to spread the wealth.
That's true.
All right.
We'll see what. Yeah.
Tell the boys I said what's up tonight. Send them my love. We appreciate you jumping on. Keep doing your thing out there in Hoover. You look great. Wear the right shirt tomorrow.
Oh.
Wear the right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen. It may be snug, but it fits you nice.
Yeah, all the right places.
It fits you nice. Lloyd, hope you have a good night's sleep tonight. And we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back live Friday in studio from 1 to 2-ish talking LSU baseball, obviously really previewing that game Friday night, depending on who they play.
Friday night watch party?
Nope.
You're invited.
I am going to our houseboat.
Oh.
Yeah. Spend the weekend on the water.
Houseboat.
Starlink it?
No, they already have the internet out there.
No,
I may bring it. I may
see.
I may bring it just to see. You're right. I may do that. We'll be out there. But enjoy the rest of y'all's Wednesday night. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can't watch us, but you like listening to us, or anywhere you get your pods. We'll be back Friday. Enjoy SC baseball. Peace. Look at that. That's a huge one. We haven't had fireworks in a minute. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Goodbye.
Peace.